Hey guys, Game Out for Good here. Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally out, and I am so excited.
Yes, we picked it up on the PlayStation 4, and in today's episode, we are going to let you know our first impressions of this long-awaited release. We're also going to be drinking a beer by Dog Fish Head. This is the Flesh and Blood IPA.
That sounds really good, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and enjoy this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
Alright, here we go. Kingdom Hearts 3 has finally arrived. You were really jacked up about this game. A game from your childhood was Kingdom Hearts 2. So what have you thought so far?
Well, it's incredible, and it feels just like the second one. I played so much Kingdom Hearts 2 on PS2 back when I was a kid. The mechanics and everything feels the same, and it just visually looks incredible.
It was kind of an awesome nostalgia trip to watch, because you were just glued to the edge of your seat. From my perspective, I have never played any of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Wow.
So that's what kind of worried me going into it is, you know, how story-laden is the Kingdom Hearts series. And it is, very, right?
Yeah.
There's a huge story. It's light versus dark side, and you're searching for your friends. But I didn't feel like I couldn't enjoy the game because of that.
Yeah, like I've only played 2, I played a little bit of 1, but I haven't played any of the other side games, and those all, you know, tell a story and they're in weird orders, and it's kind of confusing. So I don't really know much about the story either. I just love the way the game plays and how it's like the Japanese art style mixed with the Disney art style and Disney character. It's just such a cool, unique experience, and it plays amazingly.
Yeah, and I felt tied to the story of the game that we were playing. And we got about 6 hours in. Obviously, it's a grind, and we weren't able to beat it before we shot the episode. So this is just our first impressions of it. But I will say, as a newcomer, the story does seem a little obtuse, I guess. A little convoluted. And I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, so I totally know if someone jumped in, like, randomly in the series, they would probably be in the same boat. Not taking a shot at the game, but I think it is a lot to wrap your head around. The good thing is, though, there's an opening monologue that kind of brings you somewhat up to speed of the happenings of prior events and things like that. And we have this lovely thing called the internet now, so you can kind of go back and go through the story if that's something you wish. But the gameplay, it's weird because it's an action RPG, but I kept feeling a lot like a God of War style combat system from like the first few games. I mentioned that to you a couple times.
And I've never played God of War 2, so I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And you've never played this game, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it wasn't like a turn-based RPG. You have this key, and you just literally beat the shit out of people with this giant key. There's really cool magic tricks. The one in particular that I really like, actually there were two, very similar in nature. You get this huge, like, lit-up ship, and you swing it back and forth.
Oh, the pirate ship.
Yeah, and then there was a similar magic trick that you can do or attack where it's like a train.
Oh, the train one, we took out a boss with that. That train effect is cool. And then there's a carousel. I mean, I'm sure there's so many more once we get deeper in the game. When those things happen, and like the art style and like the way it's like made out of colors, and it's just so cool looking.
It makes the game feel larger than life.
Yeah,
it really does. And it with the Disney tie-in, very much what I expected. So I guess when we're looking at our first impressions, there's a lot of good games out right now. Is this a game that you think people need to go out and get right away?
I don't think so. It's a grinder. It's gonna take forever to beat this game. I already know it because it's like kind of open world-ish, and there's so many different planets and so many different Disney things, and I don't think you need to get it right away. I think if you waited till it dropped in price, or you were in the middle of playing Res 2 that just came out, maybe wait till you beat that, because you don't need it. It's not like the new Battlefield. It's not like the new Madden. You don't need to play it right now, but it will still be great when you play it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it too. Had we not had the channel, I don't know personally that I would have ran out and grabbed it. But I had a lot of fun with it, more fun than I thought I would have, because we're in the middle of playing Res 2 as well, and it was hard for me to get my mind out of that. But 10-15 minutes into this, I was all in on Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm a newcomer. I know nothing about the series, so it was like a brand new game and series for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, speaking of enjoyment, you're also the IPA guy on the channel. I'm really interested to hear your opinion, because typically, if I like it, you don't think it's a great IPA.
Well, typically you are correct, but you are not correct in this. I really enjoy this beer. This is Flesh and Blood by Dog Fish Head, and it is so good.
Yeah, it is a very mild, and I would say like a very sweet, citrusy type of IPA.
Yes,
it's really easy on the palate.
It's very easy. It's very smooth. It's not like when people think IPAs, they think, hop, punch you in the face. Nope, this is just this would be a really good summer beer. You could day drink this. Not encouraging that, but it's really good.
So it was a really big deal in our area because we recently just started getting Dogfish Head distributed here, and it was one of those breweries that we'd heard a lot about, and you couldn't really get it because they're from Delaware.
Yeah, and we're from Iowa. That's a little bit away.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just started getting it. We only have a few offerings from them right now. In guessing right, their wheelhouse is more the IPA realm, so I haven't tried a ton of their stuff, but I'm very impressed with this beer.
Yeah, I'm really glad we picked this up.
Yeah, and you can just taste the quality. I'm going to guess that they are a really good brewery because you can just taste the quality with this offering here. So if you see Dogfish Head out and about, it has the Gaming Off the Grid seal of approval. It's a great beer. And this game, I would say, has our seal of approval as well. Just our first impressions, but I don't think you'd go wrong to go out and pick it up. Do you need to get it day one, or now it's day 2 or 3? Probably not, but I think it's something you need to get in your collection if you have a PS4 or an Xbox One.
There's something I want to say, though, before we go. I know it's an RPG, but I felt like the cutscenes and everything that were really long, and there were so many of them, and I get they're trying to tell a story, but it could just be because we're doing the YouTube thing and we have no time to game, but it was kind of irritating, like how I was like, dude, I just want to play the game. I don't want to say it, but I don't really care about the story. Like, I just want to get into the game. I don't know. It could just be a personal thing, but I felt like it was too long.
Well, I mean, I think you bring up a great point. The gameplay and the combat mechanics are so good that you can play it and kind of have the story be secondary, but if you're more of an RPG fan and want to immerse yourself in the story, by all means, you can do that as well. But it's just a good game. They did a good job. I don't think it's probably a Game of the Year contender, but it is going to be a well-received release, that's for sure. All right, anything else you want to say about it before we go?
I just want to say that I'm so glad that it's finally here. Been waiting 13 years, and now I actually have it to play it.
That's awesome, and I'm very excited that you get a chance to do so, and I get to do it with you. So, you know the drill. We really appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid.
Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally out. About time, right?
Okay, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring your beer belly.
I heard actually.
We're also going to be drinking a beer by Dog Fish Head Brewery. This is the fresh
Flesh and Blood.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh flesh.
And in today's episode, we're going to tell you our first impressions of this long-awaited game. And speaking of impressions, we have a beer by Dogfish Head Brewery. This is the
Flesh. Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally out, and I am so excited. What? You didn't like that inflection?
It was fun. All right.